Welcome back, ladies, gentlemen, and NBs, and thank you for tuning back into St. Andrew TV, a cure for your Monday blues. I'm your host, Andrew, and today we are going to learn how to pack a pipe. Just like our Old West brethren back in the day, there are two different variations of how to pack your pipe, and we can be as cool as, say, a Kurt Russell or a Lee Van Cleef, per se. So if you stick with me, I will show you those two methods. So as we begin, you can see I am in my Lee Van Cleef ensemble, and while I get set up here, I'm going to actually give you a little bit of history about pipes and tobacco smoking. Pipes have been around since about 2000 BC, and that dates back to ancient civilizations such as Egypt, where the pipes were made out of copper. And it has been documented that it goes back to 1500 BC by Native Americans. Now, modern pipes came around in the 16th century. And the person that made them popular was a Frenchman by the name of Jean Nicot. That's actually where we get the term nicotine. He was an ambassador that went to Portugal and actually brought back to France some tobacco leaves, whether that be the leaf form or snuff. And he preached about their medicinal purposes. At that time, smoking tobacco became quite the craze. Now, that is a brief overview of pipe history. I'm sure that somebody out there has gone over in great depth about how pipes came to be and how they are still relevant in today's world, but that is basically just a beginner's guide to why pipes exist. But now let's get into the two separate methods of packing your pipe like Lee Van Cleef. So we will start with the 3-layer method, and all you are going to do is either actually dip your bowl into the bag of tobacco to get your first layer, or you can do what's called a gravity fill, where we'll just place the tobacco over and let it fall into place, just like so. That's your first layer. It should be very scarce, very, very spread out to allow air to get up through your mouthpiece. So that is layer 1. Layer 2 is you're going to do the exact same thing and place tobacco in your bowl like so, but this time it's going to be a little bit more packed because we are going to use our tamper here and pack it down to the 2/3 or 3/4 way up the bowl itself. And you don't want to tamp it too hard, you just want to make sure that it is firm in there, but you're not coming down on like you're trying to break a big rock and make it a bunch of little rocks. Shout out Arkansas. Here's where we are at with the conclusion of step 2. Step 3, we are going to do the exact same thing as we're going to take some tobacco, and this time you are going to pack it to the rim. And this time the tamper is going to be a little bit more firm on the top of the tobacco, like so. You're going to make sure that it is nice and parallel with the rim of your bowl on your pipe, and it should look something like that. And to really make sure, test to ensure that you have good airflow through your mouthpiece, and that is what it should look like. And what we call this around these parts is one hell of a rim job. Now that is the conclusion of the 3-layer method, which is a lot more uniform, and I do believe it is the more sophisticated and efficient way of packing a pipe. But I'm just going to do to this pipe like my doctor did to me and disimpact it. This next method is called the pinch or frank method, and this one is less efficient, but probably, if I had to use my context clues, more widely used on the frontier, because you probably weren't going to have this big fancy tamper here to help you pack your tobacco and this one is going to be all done with your hands. So what you're going to do is, it's actually the same first step as the last one, is you are going to gravity fill the bottom of your pipe. Just like so. That's all there is to it. Make sure the airflow is good, sounds good, feels good, and tastes good. But the second step, and this is the final step actually, you're going to take a big pinch of tobacco like so, and you are going to stuff it in the opening of your bowl. And you are just going to work it down ever so methodically with your thumbs until you give it the old-fashioned St. Andrew TV rim job. No tamper, bowl is filled to the rim. That is how you do the pinch or Frank method. A little bit more barbaric, but when you are on the frontier and you can only bring a finite amount of tools, this is a luxury item, so you're probably not going to have this nice tamper at your disposal, but this one works just as well. Let's check the airflow. Feels pretty good. And that concludes 2 separate methods of how to pack a pipe like Lee Van Cleef or Kurt Russell. I mean, Daddy. I mean, Wyatt Earp. You want to hear something really cool about that pipe from the Hateful Eight? That was actually Kurt Russell's pipe. He gets them custom made in Italy. He just brought one of his own pipes from home. That's so cool. Why is he so fucking cool? Buys his own pipe, own tobacco. He's like, I do movies, so I'll just bring my own props. That's bullshit. And another fun fact is, this is from Gatlinburg, Tennessee, and it's called Caves Cove Cavendish. And the reason why it's so intoxicating is it actually resembles the smell of freshly baked cookies. So there's that. So I actually, after the concluding of me filming here, I'm gonna actually smoke this and then come back and probably change clothes and pretend it's a different week for all of you at home. Anyway, that concludes today's video of how to pack your pipe like Lee Van Cleef, and I gave you 2 different methods. Pick your favorite. I'm sure if you're sitting on your porch, you're going to use the 3-layer, or if you are out in the wilderness, maybe you just want to sit by the campfire and you didn't bring this trusty old tamper here, you'll use the pinch or Frank method. Please leave a like if you've enjoyed today's video, or leave me a comment stating what you liked, or tell me what I should do next. I have a Patreon that has been opened up for a few months now. If you would like to continue to support the content you see on St. Andrew TV, the link is down below or at the bottom of my screen, and that is a bird chirping. But feel no obligation to do so, only if your means allow it. I do these videos because I enjoy doing it, so the videos on YouTube will forever remain free. Thank you to everyone who has subscribed as of late, but for those of you who have come across this video or this channel, maybe because you wanted to learn how to pack a pipe, maybe you just saw Lee Van Cleef in the title and you got real excited. Or maybe you just came by because you wanted to see me lay some pipe. Think about hitting that subscribe button, because you're a daisy if you do. Leave some sex for us normies, okay, Kurt? Deal?